Hello everyone, this is Bradley. Today this is a tutorial about a breaking change in Blender 4.5 concerning the curve to mesh node. I hope by the end of this tutorial you will understand how a new feature works in Blender 4.5 and also how things used to work before that. So that when you're watching all the tutorials, you won't run into confusions caused by version differences. So here we're in Blender 4.4 and we have a simple setup. We start with a quadratic bezier, then we use a curve to mesh node with a profile curve to turn it into a tube mesh. In Blender versions before 4.5, to change the tube thickness, you'd adjust the profile curve radius. If you wanted the thickness to vary along the curve, you can use set curve radius node. For example, I'm using a spline parameter that goes from 0 to 1, from start to the end of a curve, to taper the tube, making it thin at the start and thick at the end. We can also use map range node to change these parameters specifically. Now, these set curve radius and the profile curve radius can interact with each other in confusing ways. So in Blender 4.5, there is now a new scale input on the curve to mesh node to control the thickness. It replaces the need of radius. As a result, the curve radius is no longer affecting the thickness by default. If you open all the files in Blender 4.5, everything will be versioned automatically to prevent breaking of your files. However, keep in mind that this versioning is only meant to preserve the results. It's not a formal or recommended workflow. So if you're watching all the tutorials using Blender 4.5 and notice that the set curve radius is no longer working to change the tube thickness, the updated and simpler method is to connect the output of a set curve radius directly to the scale input of this curve to mesh node. If you're following my older tutorials with presets, you don't need to worry about this change. The effects are already versioned and updated inside my bevel curve presets, which still supports radius. This ensures compatibility of my older files and my tutorials as well. However, with the newest change, you can also plug in this scale to affect the thickness, and it will be encouraged to use this new workflow instead of the old procedure. Up to now, I should have covered the main part of this tutorial, but there's one more important detail I want you to keep in mind, which is the order of operations. Order always matters, just like in modifier stacks, where applying subdivision surface before or after a bevel modifier gives different results. This is equally true in node tree. So here we come back again in Blender 4.4. Now we don't only use set curve radius with a spline parameter to make a thickness vary along the curve, but we also trim it. If we trim curve before set curve radius, as the spline parameter goes from start to the end of a curve, this trimming before the set curve radius will affect our tube thickness a lot. On the other hand, if we trim the curve after set curve radius, the result will be different. Both setups are valid depending on what you are aiming to achieve. This becomes especially important if you are following such kind of tutorial procedure using Blender 4.5. If you plug this spline parameter directly into the scale inputs of our curve to mesh node, you will only get one of those effects where the trimming is before our set curve radius. So how can we get the result where we set curve radius before this trimming? To preserve the original state before trimming, you can use capture attribute node. This way you can store this spline parameter at this geometry at this specific moment. before it's affected by any trimming process later. And now if we plug this capture attribute result to our scale input, you can see we have our previous result back. So it may be a little bit safer if you always do this capture if you're following all the tutorials, but it's not really necessary. So this is not really a recommended workflow. It really depends on what you are working with your setup. So that's everything I wanted to share in this tutorial. I hope this helps you not only with your future work using Blender codes, but also with learning from all the tutorials. I hope you enjoyed this video. I'll probably see you next time. Bye bye.